After watching the instructional video, I recommend downloading and printing out the full ebook so that you can use it as a reference when watching the lectures. The next crucial step is to learn how I describe hills and roads and how I number them so you'll be familiar with when you're hearing them during my course. From there, there's really no order. You can jump around and go to any specific lecture. For informational purposes, I've also included a live 50-minute audio of a class I taught where you can clearly hear my cues, and another version where it's just the music from my class with video cues. I think that's going to be invaluable for you. Now let's go to how to explain roads. I like to teach my roads on a scale of 1 to 10, 0 being no resistance at all, and 10 being the highest hill. However, I never go to a 10 because then the hill's so high you can't cycle and then you're going to bring your heart rate down. So I like to teach between the numbers 5 and maybe an 8.5. I consider a 0 no resistance. That's when you are relaxing, you're sitting up straight, you're recovering, or you're taking a break. A road that you feel is what I call a 5. I always like to start on the 5 road. The road that you feel where your body's not jiggling, you feel the road below you and your heart rate is up just a little bit, and it's a road you can do all day long. 5 is your warm-up road. Next is a 5.5, a slight hill road, which means you can turn it a half turn to the right or add a few gears. 6 is what I consider a slight hill road. You are definitely working right below working hard, which means your heart rate is up, but you aren't working hard yet, but you are definitely breathing a little bit heavier than a 5 road. 7 is a hill road. You are matching the beat of the songs that I play and you're working hard. You can still work hard and talk a little bit at the same time in this zone. Again, a 7 is a seated hill where you're working hard. 7.5 or a 7.5 is what I call the highest seated hill you can do. This is where you're working extra hard or even super hard when you're attacking hills. In this zone, you should not be able to talk. You should almost feel your heart going into your throat. The 7.5 seated hill is what I call maximum effort, attacking seated hills. 8 is out of the saddle, a high hill road. This is where you're working hard, you keep your butt pushed back, and you keep planking over the bike. An 8 is where you're definitely working hard and matching the cadence of the music. You want to keep your heart rate up. An 8.05 or an 8.5 hill or any hill above an 8 is what I consider the highest hill you can do out of the seat while still matching the song and keeping your heart rate up. Do not make it so high that you cycle so slow and you bring your heart rate down. Again, here is where you should be working extra hard and focused on your form with your butt pushed back and planking over the bike.